tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're talking about those prying, spying smart devices that you own. Doesn't matter if you have a Mac or Windows or even an Android device, those devices are spying on you. I'm sure many of you by now have seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix and the fact that large tech companies are spying on us in any way possible. And that includes your phone, your computers, and even your smart home devices. Well, fortunately, there's a way that you can stop that spying, but I know one of the questions that many of you are probably asking is this legal? And the answer is yes, because you agreed to those terms of service that you probably never read, that you would allow these devices to spy on you. That's why tech experts like myself have been sounding the alarm for months now, letting people know that these companies are turning you and I into products that they can sell to their advertisers in order to allow those advertisers to make more money by targeting ads that are directly related to you. Now, part of that process is scanning what you do when you surf the internet, but also it's allowing technology to listen into your conversations so that they can build a better profile about you so that they can sell products better. So if you want to keep part of your online or your offline identity anonymous online, then there's several things that you need to do, and you have to start with your smart devices that you carry with you all the time or that are sitting in your home. So we're going to take a look at a few tips that will definitely help you keep a lower profile and to stop those smart devices from listening in to you. So let's start off with Cortana, which is Microsoft's AI or virtual assistant that will allow you to quickly search for items. And before we go on with Cortana, I will say that it is convenient to have some of this smart technology because you can say the keyword or the start word for many of these products and instantly find what you're looking for. But again, those items are spying on you, so it's important that maybe you do it the old-fashioned way as opposed to not allowing these devices to get to know you too intimately. So again, let's start off with Cortana. So Cortana, if you aren't familiar with, is Microsoft's virtual assistant that allows you to search on Windows devices. And those devices include Windows smartphones, which aren't around as much anymore, but of course Surface tablets, Windows-based computers, and Windows-based laptops. So to turn off Cortana, it is pretty simple. You can just open Cortana in your Windows computer and then select the notebook icon in the right hand corner. Click on settings and then toggle Hey Cortana to off. This basically means that Cortana won't be listening to your conversations anymore, which is kind of a good thing because who wants their laptop or desktop computer spying on what they do? Now, one of the good things about Cortana is that you can search manually, but beware, if you haven't noticed already, Cortana uses Microsoft Bing, which is Microsoft's own search engine. And of course, that search engine is designed to track your surfing habits online. So it may be best for all of your online searches if you were to use a service such as DuckDuckGo to make sure that you're using something that is not going to spy on you. And for those of you that don't know, let's pull up DuckDuckGo so that you can kind of get an idea of how the website itself works out. I've got that pulled over to a window here, so let's take a look at the search engine DuckDuckGo. There you go. There's DuckDuckGo. You can type in any search you want to. Of course, I guess you could do verbal searches with it. But basically you type in with DuckDuckGo and it will allow you to find stuff without being tracked. And that's the whole purpose of this, isn't it? So the next device that we want to concentrate on is Amazon Echo devices. And I have to be careful because right next to me, listening into my every word, is my own Amazon Echo Show device, which if I say the activation word, will start talking. So to turn off that device so that it's not listening and recording, because a lot of these products will record your conversations and store them up in the cloud on any Alexa device. And I activated the keyword, so you may hear talking here in a few minutes. But you want to navigate to the menu, select your Alexa account, and then pick Alexa Privacy and manage how your data improves Alexa. You want to switch off that button. That way your conversations aren't being recorded online. The other thing that you can do as far as your Amazon Echo device is that there is a microphone silence button on either the top if you've got an Amazon Echo Dot, or if you've got an Amazon Echo Show, the mute button is on top of that device. So turning that off obviously won't allow it to activate if you're using it, but at the same time, if you're having conversations that you consider private, you can temporarily hold down that microphone mute button, and that way your Amazon device isn't listening in when you're having those conversations, whether it be work or just personal, that you don't want your smart device to record. Also remember that as far as Amazon's concerned, your Echo device does have an app, and the new versions of the Amazon app will listen into your conversations. So one of the things that you can do on your smartphone is to make sure that you don't allow the microphone to be accessed by your Amazon app, because yes, it will listen in too if you have the microphone enabled, which is a good segue into the next app that many of you may not be aware that's listening into your conversations, and that is Facebook. Yes, Facebook is listening into your conversations, and the reason being is that one of the features that the Facebook app allows you to do is that it allows you to utilize the microphone. Now, this comes into play when you're doing your Facebook Lives, because obviously if you're doing Facebook Live on your smartphone or your tablet, it has to have access to the microphone. But you have it on, that's accessing it all the time. So the best thing to do is to go into your settings in Facebook and make sure that the app is not accessing your voice through it. So on your Android device, you can just go to settings, select applications, and choose the application manager. Find Facebook. You want to go to permissions and then turn off the microphone. Now, if you've got an Apple device or an iOS device, go to the settings menu and choose Facebook. And then go to settings, toggle the microphone switch from on to off. And then, of course, like above, you can toggle those settings on and off depending on how you want to be able to use it, because with Facebook, again, it does use the microphone if you decide to go live, so you can allow that app to only utilize the microphone when you're going to go live. And everyone wants to go live at some point, right? Our next app we're going to talk about, or service, is the big one, which is Google. Now, Google obviously is listening into everything that you have to say, and that's kind of not a good thing, I would imagine. Well, it is a good thing in some instances, but if you don't want it to record all of your conversations, you want to turn it off. So there's different ways to turn it off, and of course, if you own a Google device, you can say, "Okay, Google," and then that device will automatically listen to you. So to turn it off on Android, you want to make sure you go to settings, then Google, select search and now, and then choose voice, and switch OK Google detection off to turn off the wake phrase. Same thing pretty much on your iOS device. Go to settings, Google Assistant, and select the microphone. Now, if you do have a Google home device, there is, like your Amazon device, a button on top of your Google Home device that allows you to mute the microphone. So again, if you're having those secure conversations, then you want to make sure that you mute the microphone when you're having those conversations. And of course, when you're done having those conversations, and you can unmute and let your Google Home device listen in and get back to what you were doing. So another smart device that you have to worry about is your Apple device. Now, Siri, which is prominent on iOS and Mac OS devices, which is Apple's virtual assistant, can listen into all of your conversations to help you search for items better. But again, this service is recording what you're doing, so you might want to turn off the wake phrase of "Hey Siri" to make sure that it's not listening. And of course, on my iPhone, I have to show you this. It's always listening. So there's "Hey Siri," and it's doing its thing. So let's turn that off. So as far as your device is concerned, you can turn Siri off by just going to settings and then general and select Siri and allow "Hey Siri" to be off. So that way you don't have these annoying instances where you say the wake phrase of Siri and then your Apple device is trying to listen into your conversations. One of the other things that is, I guess it's kind of important, but it's not as prevalent on smart TVs as it is on your smart devices. But if you have a smart TV, and there's so many different brands out there, that it's kind of hard to say how to turn the wake word off. But if your smart TV's got a camera and microphone, it's a good possibility it may be listening into your conversations as well. So if you've got a smart TV, you can go into the settings and try to turn off the microphone. But in the future, when you're purchasing a smart TV, obviously, you can get one that's internet connected. That way you can use it as a smart TV and don't have to get a Roku device to turn it from a dumb TV to a smart TV. But you can also make sure that it doesn't have a camera and a mic, so that's one less device that's listening into you. So moving forward, when it comes to your smart devices and your smart home devices, you need to be aware that the tech companies are listening into your conversations and trying to build up a profile about you. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you keep an anonymous profile as possible. If you're going to set up a Google device or even an Amazon device or your smartphone or tablet, you might want to consider creating a fake email account, putting in false information, and becoming what I call a cyber liar to make sure that companies aren't monitoring what you're saying or doing online. Same thing with the information that you put into these accounts. Create an alias so that way companies can't match up your name and address with other devices that you may own. That way it disables the opportunity for companies to create a scenario where they're building a profile about you. So you can use some of these smart home devices safely, but there are some steps that you need to take in order to make sure that companies aren't turning you into a product and trying to create targeted ads to you. So follow these steps and it should help create a lower profile of you online and not making you as big of a target to some of these online tech companies as other people out there. So I always have to say with my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions about how to keep your smart home devices from monitoring you, and leave your comments in the comment section below if you have any questions about disabling your smart home devices or about any of your devices that you think may be listening to your activity. Because I didn't cover everything in here, but guaranteed, if it's a device that has GPS or even a microphone, it's a guarantee that that company has got some sort of features that are tracking what you're saying or doing. If you, at all possible, read those terms of service so you can understand what you're agreeing to before you start using these technology devices. So with that said, I love technology. I've read all the manuals and I'm serious about making technology fun and easy to use for everyone. So take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile, and thanks for watching.